You sure did keep the wolves away, but it gave him the father's key. Behold the woodman's woodshed, it's a sight to be seen. Something about that power saw, and the sand running through my veins.
Flashbacks. We had just the most wonderful, wonderful day yesterday. I got called, by a fella. So this fella has a mill. He cut that walnut for me years ago. He's on the channel. Nice fella. He buys logs and cuts them on his mill. Nice fella. Kevin, how you doing? Anyway, called me up, said, Buckin, do you want a local fallen job? And I said, yes, of course I do. And I've been having a hankering. I don't know if you've heard me say on the channel, I've got a hankering to cut timber lately. It's crazy how the big fella provides everything. He just does. So yesterday I started the job and finished it. It was just a cutting frenzy. Maybe 30 trees, 20, 30 trees, somewhere's there. But it was an interesting job. You cut one, you go walk for 5 minutes to the next one. It was a very interesting job. I'd been in there cutting timber years ago. So, friends, I've got a lot of cutting scenarios here. And what I'm going to do is explain some things that you may run into in your little patch of timber or wherever you're cutting. And I'm going to explain it. This is going to be wonderful. I urge you, and I can't tell you what to do, but I urge you, if you're interested in wondering about what fallers do out in the bush, or not every faller, but some, don't skip. Don't skip ahead. You will lose out on something very important here. That's if you're interested in cutting timber, or you cut yourself, or you're starting out or doing whatever. These are things that you just don't hear because guys aren't explaining it usually. So this will be fun. And I like explaining these things to you. So I was going to start from the very first tree I cut and go from there through the whole job. But no, we're just going to dive in. Friends, enjoy this. It's going to be a little series. It'll be nice. Stumps. Making stumps.
All right, friends. So here's the dreaded ones people freak out about because they're all leaning out on a, like they're arbutus, right? You know what they do. There's another one. I look right behind me. There's one there. Look what they do. They go out like some are on 45s, 30s, 20, 25. It's just the way they grow. This one here, I'll show you something. This will be funny. I'll show you where the top of the tree is. Well, I don't have to. You guys have seen it. You've seen it a ton of times. Here's the tree. There it is. Look what it does. It goes way out there, and I'm shooting for in here. But the tree that's going is this huge fir behind me. But you don't just smash a tree. You can get shrapnel coming off it and take your head off. So it's not smart. So we're going to cut this up. So I could try and just put a cut in it and fall it, but I wouldn't bore cut it because it'll jump off and just go right into its lay, which basically is up there. You can see I'm right, actually even worse. Look at the curl in it. Look at the tree. It's actually wanting to go off over there. So if I wanted to keep this inlay with the road, is kind of what I'm shooting for. It's either, which is not smart, you got to stick with the stump, just put a regular old undercut in it and feed the back. But it could blow up too. It could break, very much so. So you kind of feed it all at once, like whoop, but you feed the high end, right? You leave your high end on the high side of the wood and you eat up the bottom more. But does that make sense? Or you do a bore cut and bounce it off. Or what I can do, and I've done this before and I might do it here, and I might just start carving away at the undercut and it'll cave in on itself. It'll keep going over and over and over, but in the process, it falls to its line, right? The line of the undercut. Do you guys know what I'm saying? I'll show you what I mean. Let's try that. And another thing I could do is cut it up, big undercut, wide open, and just hammer it with that with no back cut. And it'll just cave, inlay. It'll do it. I've done it tons. See what's going on? If I hit the back, it's gone. This will not work. Listen to me. This will not work unless you cave, unless you have this. This will not work. You've got to open it up. Like this. So I gotta take this. That's what I'm talking about right there. See that?
Okay, friends, I just want to show a couple little things what I'm doing. Just watch me for a minute. I won't waste a bunch of time, but this is what I was doing here. Just watch. You see what I'm doing there? Top and bottom to create that C.
Cave, unless you have this. Did you guys see that? So did you see that? Look where it ended up, friends. It was literally, I'm very happy with the outcome of that. Extremely happy. I wanted it right there. We got it just to the left. That worked out really nice. Okay. This guy. Right in there. Let's do it. we should have scribed, but no, we're good. We're right on the money, actually.
Okay, friends. So this tree, we saw it before. It's leaning downhill, like right downhill. And the side you see me on there, I'm right at the back, but what I'm doing right now, see there? Did you see my saw? I pushed my saw into the high wood there. Now I'm gone. All I wanted to do was basically, friends, just make sure that I'm lined up. Like you can see, I'm not even to the apex yet. I just needed to know that I was going in line. That's it. And then back over to the high wood. And I'll explain this to you. After the tree goes down, we're going to talk about the lean. I'll show you the lean of the tree, but it's leaning towards us, friends, the camera. It's leaning this way and all the foliage and everything. So I'll show you that. But what I'm doing right now is I'm eating all my high wood up. Now I'm talking to the camera. But this is really important for people who cut trees and you run into these scenarios. So if you eat up all your wood, there's a chance that tree's going to sit down on there. And I'll explain this to you. So we'll go over this in a minute. See what I'm saying? Now I will come back. So, bro, I'm trying to get pretty creative here as far as filming goes. I turned my GoPro up right there. See that? I actually turned it up so that when I'm cutting. So I'm going to bounce back from camera to camera here. But friends, this tree, I did not wedge over. I didn't have to wedge it. Look at what's happening here. that low wood, it would have sat back on there and I'd have had to bang my guts out to get it to go.
Let's have a chat skis. I'm gonna put you back in the holder because it's easier for me to explain. Okay, here we are. This is very important for people. Okay, well, no, this will look terrible if I do that. Let's leave it like this. And we'll go back a bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so, friends, the tree was leaning there, okay? Like all the bones were out there, like that away, okay? It had to be cut right up before it went anywhere. This thing wasn't leaving, and I will tell you this right now. I will almost guarantee this with this tree. If you had it gone like this, you could see, yeah, see, we've barely got, so I'd have been out here like this. So regardless, I wouldn't have been able to see my bar. So you see, look at, I can't see it. So I can't just stay here and cut the tree up. Even though it probably would have went and it was just bark. Doesn't matter, I can't see it. So we go like this as fallers. We go like this. We come out, we cut like this, right? So we can always see our tip. We come around, so what we would do is go like this. We'd start, we'd go whop, whop, we'd go like this, right? Now, we would come in here and we would eat all this lower wood up. Some guys will even bring the power saw over and go like this. They'll even go like this. And they'll eat all this wood up. Now that would have been a mistake. Guaranteed would have been a mistake. Because I know what would have happened if I had done that. The tree would have sat this way into it because you've removed wood. So it sits into its lay, but does it sit this way and go forward or sit this way and go back? You don't know that. So why don't we make sure that when it sits forward. So we come here, we push this top wood, blamp, all of it, all of this. I came like this, friends. I had all this wood eaten up, friends. I did, all of it. And then I came around and cleaned up that side. And by that time, this is all caved in and this tree's dropping down on that undercut that we created. I hope that makes sense. That tree came out easy. I didn't use my axe. I just tapped it in and cut, tickle, tickle, tap, tap, tickle, tickle, tap, tap. And it was done. Very, very important. It'll save you. I tried to show a friend of mine that out in the West Coast. And he tried it a couple times, but he just didn't have the patience to keep trying it. So he just went back to the old school, which is fine. That's the way we're taught, right? Okay. We got one more big tree. I don't know if you guys are going to have the battery, but regardless, we'll try. Let's go. It's that big dirty thing over there.
See, this is the problem. I'm sitting here, it's Saturday afternoon. I'm getting this video out for you guys, gals, women, and children. That's what I'm doing. But, and then I got to go do other things. But I wanted to get this video out. Friends, I love this stuff, eh? I do. And I hope some of this makes sense. I am not going to go through this series of video, like go through this day of falling, undercut, back cut, undercut, back cut, undercut, back. I'm just not going to do it. Let me know in the comments if this stuff helps. If any, that arbutus-tree, friends, you have to maintain that C, or what it'll do is you can't just keep tickling the undercut in a straight line, because it'll just, you've got to notch the top out, notch the bottom, notch the top, notch the bottom, keep working your way in. That's why a wide undercut helps, because you can just keep going in and notching out that C. Sorry, I was looking over here, friends, right? I've done all kinds of cuckoo things with trees, and over the years, I've tried and failed and tried and succeeded in different things, and when there's no chance for wrecking something. Friends, be kind, work hard, be honest, and we'll catch you all on the next video. I am so excited that I got to get out there and do that falling. I love it. It's awful thing, isn't it? We'll see you on the next video, and it'll be that big tree I talked about right at the end of the video, or something else. I did a climb the other day too. I'm on fire. I love yous, friends. Be kind to one another.